Greetings, my name is Jim Alexander and this is the next installment of my upgrades to my AF 2028-80 Omtech laser. My last video, or one of the last ones, I mentioned that my next upgrade was going to be the Y-axis installation of a closed loop stepper motor. Unfortunately, I've come across a few minor issues and I'm awaiting parts to come in. One of them is the reducer here has 12mm shafts on it, and I ordered 12 by 12 couplers because I mistakenly believed the drive shaft for the Y-axis in the Omtech was a 12mm shaft. Well, partially yes, partially no. On the end of the shaft it's been reduced to 8mm. Therefore I'm waiting new couplers from 12 down to 8. In the meantime, I was thinking last night that on the controller, or sorry, the driver, there is an alarm. This connection here activates if for some reason the stepper motor cannot carry out its steps that are requested, i.e. it hits something or it's going so fast that it loses steps. So I was thinking about how I could incorporate this into the Ruida controller, and I came across an idea. On the Ruida controller you have the door protect switch, which is right here, pin 3. This goes into a normally closed switch, which is an inductive switch on the front of your machines. What I plan to do is incorporate the alarm switch into this, so that the door switch will be in series with the alarm switch through a relay. Hopefully, once all this is done, then the system will activate a failure and the Ruida controller will stop whatever it's doing in the event of a problem with one of the drivers. So, let's see what we can do. Okay, what we have here now is the door protect relay, or sorry, the door protect switch is connected to pin 1 and pin 3. I've disconnected the door protect pin 3 and I have put it into one of the normally closed connections of this relay. The other side, the brown wire here, goes back up and around into the door protect. So this is a normally closed relay. If it energizes, it opens. When it opens, it is the same as activating the door protect switch. Also, the door protect switch itself, being a switch, when it opens, also energizes, or sorry, also protects the system. Now, the red and yellow wires are on the coil. The red wire is going to plus 24 volts, and the yellow wire is going up to the alarm plus of the stepper motor. Alarm negative is the black wire, and that is coming back down to the ground on CN1. So how does this work? Let's take a look. First off, my motor, or my gantry, is forward. The x-axis is over. When I turn this on, you'll remember that the first thing that it does is it zeroes the system. Okay? Now, if I move this over, and I pulse, we get a shot. Okay? Now let's go up here and see what happens when I open the door. Now when I open the door and pulse, I get a machine protect. That is the door switch. close the door, hit escape, and I can pulse. That's all good. That's the way it's supposed to work. Now, now I'm going to disconnect the X-axis limit. What this will do is it will prevent the X-axis from homing, and it will crash into the side of the gantry. At the same time that this happens, I will get an alarm light. What this means is the X-axis has not been able to finish its travel and it is alarmed out. Concurrent with that, I should get this relay energized. So let's turn it on and see what happens. And you see the red light flashing on the driver. That means the alarm and the relay has activated. So now if I go up and try to pulse, I get a machine protect error, which is exactly what I want. Okay, here's the final setup. We have the relay mounted. All right, wires going in through the channels, up, around, and up out into ground here. 24 volts up here. The door protect switch is there, and the two wires for the alarm are up here. So that is it, I guess. I will endeavor to have a wiring diagram included in with the description so that anybody who wishes to add this to their closed loop stepper motor systems shouldn't have any real issues. Okay, here we have a circuit diagram that I've done up that shows the low voltage power distribution and signal inputs and outputs from the Ruida controller. First off, in the lower right hand corner we have the three limit switches, Z, X, and Y axes, and in the upper right hand corner we have our two stepper motors. The upper one is the stock Y axis open loop stepper motor that comes with the machine, and the lower one is the upgraded closed loop servo stepper motor that I put in. You'll notice on the driver there is an alarm positive and alarm negative. This is what we are going to be incorporating into the Ruida system. Last, in the center lower, we have the door protect switch. This is what we will be tapping into. The door protect switch is normally closed, and here we have the schematic of the modification that we've just done. To begin with, CN1, pin 1 is a ground that feeds down and around and up into alarm 1 of the hybrid closed loop stepper driver. Alarm negative goes down to one side of the coil of the relay that was added. The other side of that coil goes up and around into pin 6 of CN1, which is 24 volts. What this does is when the alarm activates from the stepper motor losing steps or crashing or hitting something, this will close the alarm circuit together, energizing this relay. The top contacts of the relay, you'll notice, comes from the door protect contact pin 3 of CN2 through the relay contacts at the top and into the door protect switch. So the way the system works is if the alarm is activated, the relay energizes, opening that circuit, which is the same as the door protect switch opening. So now we've got a way of detecting when either the stepper motor fails or when the door sensor switch activates. So the question is why exactly do you need this? Well, as an example, if your laser is operating and one axis happens to hit an obstruction and that stepper motor triggers and stops moving, the other axis will continue to operate potentially causing problems. By having this circuit installed, the Ruida controller will automatically detect the failure of a stepper motor, causing it to stop its operation immediately. So how do we tell the difference between the door protect switch and a stepper motor failure? Well, if the stepper motor fails when you open up the side door, you'll see a flashing light on the stepper motor driver indicating that it has alarmed. You'll also see an LED on the relay indicating that, again, a stepper motor has failed. So that is the modification for adding the alarm system into the Ruida controller. If you have any comments, don't hesitate to leave them in the video, or I can be reached through the OMTech user group sites on Facebook.